In this video, I'm going to explain who should probably buy Project Motor Racing and who should probably not buy it. Basically, I keep getting asked questions because people don't want to think for themselves, so they want me to do the thinking for them, which is a really bad idea. That's like asking a slug to plan your accounts for you. It's not going to go well, especially if it's a dry day. So, you know, just a warning here. But this video should hopefully give a good overview picture of if Project Motor Racing will likely appeal to you or not. As always, subscribe so you can then unsubscribe when I say something you disagree with or maybe slag off one of your favourite games. Click the like button if you enjoy sim racing content. And thank you, as always, to our channel members, donors, supporters. We're super independent and I really appreciate your support in allowing us to do what we do. So, who should buy Project Motor Racing? First of all, I can understand why a lot of people are very confused. The review videos on the internet are all over the place. I've only watched Random Call Signs, Dave Cams and Super GTs. And I do actually think their review videos are good. I think when you come to watching reviews of stuff, you should watch lots of different reviews, then be really confused, but also consider the individual points that are made in videos and the reasons for those points, and that can really help you decide. But what I have noticed, having watched those reviews, is it's very clear that a lot of reviewers have not really messed around with the force feedback settings and so have come to really weird conclusions as to the feel of the simulator, and also I think they haven't fiddled around with some of the default settings in general. This is not helped by the fact that Project Motor Racing, in the press version that we've had access to, the defaults are not good. Also, in the press version, there's weird stuff in the menus and it's clearly quite buggy in many ways and very obviously needs a lot of polish. So this has not helped anything. But yeah, it's very clear, as someone that's been playing the press build, that some of these other reviewers have not messed around with force feedback settings or tweaked various things or tried certain things, which I think has then shaped their view of the simulator quite a bit. So keep that in mind when looking at other reviews. Who is it for, based off my experience of playing it? Who will most likely enjoy Project Motor Racing? Well, I would say the key audience, or the most appealing audience for this title, would be console gamers that specifically want a more realistic hardcore racing simulator but on the games console, and specifically people that already have a wheel and pedals on the games console. So you may be someone that's been playing Forzas, you've been playing Gran Turismo, but you want something on your console that's much more like a PC simulator, much more realistic physics, much more detailed force feedback. There's nothing really like that on console that's really that deep, other than your Forzas and your Gran Turismos. So I think for those people, this will be the most appealing title for them. Those people will benefit the most from getting this game. On the PC side, I think it's a lot harder to call as to who would like it the most. I would say if you're a fan of Automobilista 2's handling, you will really like how Project Motor Racing handles. I will also say if the multiplayer is good, which I can't really test. We've tested local stuff and the netcode seemed pretty decent, but if their sort of online ranking system is really good and actually works well, then I think people looking for a quick jump in, accessible online multiplayer racing game with realistic physics, I think those people will really quite enjoy it on the PC as well. And hopefully, with it being on console and PC, you'll have more players, which will make the multiplayer more active and the competition more active as well. There is the issue at the moment that in the press build, which Straight 4 have said, oh, you know, the press build is it's the older build. We've got a day one patch, guys. We're going to throw some day one patch on you, and it's going to fix things like the AI being a bit jank. It's going to fix some UI stuff. It's going to fix the frame rate issues. If that day one patch happens, then absolutely fantastic. That's great. But if that day one patch doesn't happen, the reality is you can't play through the single player properly without a moderate difficulty, or on the actual hard difficulty, or how it's actually designed. You can't play through the single player without the AI doing weird stuff. And even with my computer, which is a X3D chip from 2 or 3 years ago with a 5090, we're struggling to get 100 FPS, 60 FPS, which no other game runs that badly for me on my system at this point in time. Microsoft Flight Sim, when I've got the graphics on super high. But so if they don't do that day one patch, then for PC gamers, I mean, if you can't get the CPU performance out of it, and if the AI doesn't work, well, that's going to really kill the single player aspect of it, which will really ruin the game for people that are looking for a sort of the career mode aspect of it. So I'd say for those of you that are really looking for the career mode stuff and the single player, absolutely you're going to have to hold off until the supposed day one patch fixes everything, and see if it does. If it doesn't, then I personally, I don't think the single player will work properly. If it does, then the actual overall design of the single player, the way it's structured and how that operates, is actually really compelling and will be super, super fun to play through. But yeah, they need the patch for the performance and for the AI for that single player to really work. So we'll have to wait for that day one patch. And as I say, I can only review what I can review, what I'm using. I can't. The developer might patch it, and that's what they said, but I can't talk about something that I've not tried. So, and I think that's, again, to be fair, this is what a lot of other reviewers have pointed out, and where a lot of their frustration has come from. Random Call Signs review, especially, I think was really fair and balanced in going through all the points. So definitely watch Random Call Signs review of the game to get a good overview. So single player focused people, I would wait to see what it's like when it actually comes out. I mean, to be honest, everybody, I would wait to see what it's like when it comes out. I really don't like pre-ordering myself. I understand that it's good for business, but for players, unless you have to get a box to a retail store, or just buy it when it comes out. I guess you want the pre-order bonus stuff and things, and that's how they suck you in and get you, isn't it? But still, I sort of... unless you can like pre-order on Steam and then try it and then cancel it within the window, that's something I do sometimes if I'm not sure with the game. But other than that, I just wouldn't pre-order. So, main thing, as I say, console gamers that are looking for much more sophisticated physics, and then PC gamers that will probably want to get that jump in online ranked racing. Additionally, obviously, the content list in Project Motor Racing is really good. Like, a nice selection of tracks. Northamptonshire, one of my favourite racetracks in the UK. But the vintage cars are really fun to drive, feel great, and I think they'll be really fun to race. And sort of GT1, is it? I'm going to get all the names wrong here, but we've been going through them, and they're really, really fun, and they're going to be amazing for doing online racing with people, battling people, sliding them around. So if you're a big fan of GT cars and not bloody GT3 cars or LMDH, which I think, weirdly, the GT4, GT3 and the LMDH cars are actually, the modern cars are the weakest cars in Project Motor Racing. But if you're a big fan of cars that actually were cool and sexy and looked nice, then I think PMR will really appeal to you as well, especially if you can do those either in that online system or just racing with friends. Kirith and I actually did an online race. There was only 5 or 6 of us in the lobby, but you could see in that the hosted online thing actually worked reasonably well, apart from the frame rate issues. Graphics, I wouldn't buy PMR for its graphics. again, doesn't run very well at the moment. I'll keep saying this, but at best, sometimes it can look nice when you set it to like the weather to be morning and stuff. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't run for as well as it looks. And if you're like used to Project Cars 2, Automobilista 2, even like really heavily modded AC1 or like GT7, those games just have much more overall visual polish to them. They look fancier, the replay cameras look fancier, but I think the graphics are actually quite nice in this. It's just it's not a game you would buy for it to look really nice. Whereas I think with Project Cars 2, when that came out, people were buying that because they're like, oh, I just want to see if my computer can run it and how it looks, right? So, you know, not one to buy for just the graphical fidelity. Audio's fantastic though, so if you like good sound with a lot of the vintage cars again, audio's great. And then obviously VR, unless they can get the performance up a lot, I don't know how VR's going to work. And also they've not got VR in there at launch, so VR gamers probably not going to be interested for a while. So there you go. The people that will buy this, console players looking for a much more hardcore racing sim to use with their wheel, people looking for actually really quite nice force feedback, especially on console, something that feels really nice. People that really want to drive vintage GT cars, and then people that probably want to take advantage of the jump in online multiplayer aspect with the cross-platform racing. Those are probably the most excited, or the people that would be best getting it straight away. Everyone else, I'd just wait until if they fix the performance, fix the AI, then I think it'll be good. Then I think it'll be good for a much wider market. Now I haven't tested it on a gamepad, so I can't comment to that. Steve, Mr. Super GT, he seems to think it wasn't very good on a gamepad. He's the gamepad guy, so I trust him on that. I need to test it myself though, so I can't really comment on it. But yeah, might be something to be aware of if you're on a console or you don't have a wheel. But who knows, maybe there's settings you can do. We'll have to tweak it. But that's it. That's it. There you go. Does this answer the question? Did this help you? If it did help you, let me know in the comments section. Have I done the thinking for you? Or am I like an earthworm that's dried out on a pavement? I think I'm like an earthworm that's dried out on the pavement. Thank you very much for watching this though. Hopefully it was useful. Appreciate everyone that's been watching our live streams and taking part. It's been good fun. But until the next one, guys, happy tea drinking. Take care and goodbye.